crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com with your morning horn disease, your sip of chaga coffee. And I added something to my regimen. Obviously, the vitamin C. I take liposomal vitamin C, zinc, vitamin D, chaga. I take pretty much everything. Colloidal silver, ormus, which is like colloidal gold. I'm just pumping everything into my body to fight. But I added quinine, hydroxychloroquine in the original healthy root version. Quinine is hydroxychloroquine. It's just different refinement. Natural herbal supplement, quinine. I added. Why? Because everybody's taking to the streets again. What do you think when people take to the streets? What happens? Coronavirus cases increase. Right before the election. Come on, people. And the media is pumping this shit. The media saying, oh yeah, we got to take to the streets again. What happened last time? There was a big uptick in coronavirus cases. Don't be stupid. This is done 100% on purpose because the election is what? 5 weeks away. Come on, humanity. Figure this shit out. You're being worked. Especially my friends in the black community. Don't let this bull. They're using you again and again and again. Please wake up. Love you guys. Please wake up. All right. Let's talk silver. I bought silver yesterday at like about where it is right now. It went down and up and down and up. I keep a little chunk of money for the big slam. And more than a little chunk of money. For the big slam. The big slam meaning all markets are destroyed, but you can still get physical silver. And then there's a scenario where all markets are destroyed and you cannot get physical silver. We're coming to that point. So I spent half of what I had and bought physical silver from Miles Franklin yesterday. If you want to buy physical silver, he sent me a list of his inventory. I got to pick and choose, and he shows you how much you'll have to pay. RoadToRuta.com customers, tell him you're Road to Ruta, and he's going to take care of you. He's going to take care of you. Send him an email, Andy, A-N-D-Y, at milesfranklin.com. It might be your last chance to buy silver sub $100, $200, $300, $400, $500. I don't know. When the comic shuts down, everybody's going to be going. A guy sent me an email saying, hey, Bix, when the comic shuts down and the price goes crazy, these local coin shops are not going to be able to deal with it. Of course they will, but that's a free market. There will be very little inventory, but that inventory will be priced through the roof. That's how free markets work. It doesn't work. We're not going to see you go into your coin shop and you get anything you want. No. They're going to be scratching. They're going to be calling me up saying, Bix, can I buy some of that silver I sold you last week? I've got a customer who'll pay anything. He'll pay anything. I'll probably say no. Sorry, you'll give me 10 grand an ounce for the silver that I have, and I'll give it to you. That's how free markets work. So that's what we're headed into. As far as where we are on the pricing of silver. Well, anyway, let me go back. Yesterday I used half of the money that I saved for the big slam to buy silver. When it drops, if it drops below $20, I'm going to spend another half of that money to buy more silver, and then so on and so on. If it goes to zero, it goes to negative, I'll buy it. Obviously, the premiums will be above the negative price. COMEX is not real. It's fake. It's a futures and options trading place for the big banks. 99% of the trades are 8 banks trading back and forth. Those 8 banks orchestrated this last move, which was a slam down from like 29 down to 22. Here's the deal. They were short 350 million ounces. That's my lovely wife. She's at her mom's today. They were short 350 million ounces. They are not short 350 million ounces anymore. They covered on the orchestrated slam down. I don't know how much they covered. We find that out on Friday. The CFTC says they can't figure this out. I don't know. What do you mean it's markets are rigged? I don't understand. They don't understand because most of them are just stupid. Guys like Michael Dunn, stupid. But there are people who know what's going on and have been told to cover up for the criminality. That's coming to an end, I believe. And that's why we're seeing the charges against JP Morgan about to be announced. Now, yesterday, Bloomberg said, oh yeah, it's gonna be $1 billion payoff and that's it. Today, a little more information's coming out with a little more clarity. Because remember, the CFTC can't put anybody in jail. That's been their whole thing. Oh, that's all we can do, Bix. All we can do is fine them. That's why all these fines are so big. We can't put anybody in jail. We don't have the legal authority to do that. Fine. This investigation at JP Morgan is not run by the CFTC or the SEC. It's run by the DOJ, who absolutely has the ability, the power, and the responsibility to put people in jail when they break the law. So they better go to jail. Not the traders. I don't even give a shit about the traders. That's the low-hanging fruit. Blythe Masters, who ran the department during the market rigging operations, and Jamie Dimon, who ran the entire division, runs the entire criminal bank known as JP Morgan Chase. They should be in jail. There's no other way around it, and the DOJ can do that. And yes, the 6 traders should all serve jail time. The 3 that turned state's evidence and admitted to rigging the markets, they should serve a lighter sentence than the 3 that withstood and said, oh, I'm going to believe that the deep state cabal is going to let me off again. This is the DOJ. It's not the SEC or the CFTC. Anyway, JP Morgan, and now this is today's pre-announcement. JP Morgan in talks to settle metal treasury spoofing probe. JP Morgan is in advanced discussions with the U.S. authority to resolve spoofing allegations, which is a tiny part of manipulation, into its trading metals, futures, and treasury securities. The bank is likely to pay a fine of almost $1 billion, first revealed by Bloomberg, which was the plant article yesterday, to settle the issue as soon as this week. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. The settlement deal will probably happen at the end after the trading on the COMEX tomorrow. The settlement deal will end investigations. Now this is the thing. The settlement deal will end investigations by the Justice Department. That's what Bloomberg said. Now here's a little additional. Notably, JP Morgan is negotiating a deferred prosecution agreement, which allows it to continue with trading operations provided it fulfills certain conditions. No more spoofing, no more market rigging, no more massive concentration. I can name 100 things that better be in that agreement. Further, it is likely the bank will admit to wrongdoing. JP Morgan admits to wrongdoing in rigging the gold and silver markets. You have massive, massive civil lawsuits. Yeah, and there should be. And we want, I want the 25 million ounces of gold that they stole during this process. I want the 700 million ounces of silver they stole, physical silver and physical gold, they stole during the process of rigging the markets. That should be part of the prosperity funds that are handed out to humanity after the banking system falls. The gold and the silver, along with all the other gold. Not much silver, but along with all the other gold out of the Grand Canyon, Chocolate Mountain, all around the world, Yamash's gold, all those billions and billions and billions of ounces. Anyway, they go on to say, spoofing is a method wherein traders place orders that they intend to cancel in order to move the prices in a particular direction. Even if they don't, look at the volumes in the last 2 days. On September 21st, when we had the big slam down, 1 billion ounces were tossed at the market. That wasn't spoofing. How many were spoofed? Probably 10 billion. It doesn't matter. When you're playing with derivatives, it doesn't matter. And then look at the September 22nd, you have over, what is that, on 1.2, about 600 million ounces trade. This is in a day. It takes the whole year, they don't mine over, I think it's 800 million ounces, 850 million ounces. It takes a whole year to mine in every single country in the world with every single mining company, all the tens of thousands of employees, hundreds of thousands of employees, everything, all the capital needed and the machinery and equipment. And they barely get 800 million ounces of silver out of the ground. And yet JP Morgan's allowed to trade that in a blink of an eye. And the eight big shorts. JP Morgan is no longer short on COMEX, by the way. Hint, Hint, hint. Anyway. The spoofing case against JP Morgan follows filing of criminal charges against its several employees. In its latest quarterly report filed in July, the company confirmed the probe and stated that it is continuing to, quote, cooperate with these investigations and is currently engaged in discussions with various regulators about resolving respective investigations. The penalty to be paid by JP Morgan would be a record compared to other spoofing-related fines. Over the past few years, several other global banks, Deutsche Bank, UBS, HSBC, have been fined for similar allegations. Why hasn't Citibank been in there under the fines? Maybe they just haven't declared yet. Maybe they have. Maybe I missed that. By the way, as these banks close out their short positions, they are booking huge losses, massive losses. Ted Butler thinks it's in the $3 billion range. Just the top 8 shorts. We'll find out though, right? We get to find out. Last month, Bank of Nova Scotia agreed to pay $127 million to resolve U.S. allegations that is engaged in spoofing, blah, blah, blah. Nova Scotia said, we're out of the business. But JP Morgan's staying in the business, apparently. Why? Because it's very, very, very profitable to steal other people's money. But that's America, my friends. All right, so that's what's going on. So yes, I did spend half of my emergency cash that I was holding for the biggest slam ever, the last slam, the final slam of silver. So half is gone, and I'll spend the other half of what's left, so that would be a quarter, if they slam the price below $20. And then another half below 15, and another half below 10, another half below 5, and probably 100% at 0 when they slam the price to 0. Don't laugh. They can do anything they want. It's a click of a mouse to do that, because this is not real silver trading hands. And like the guy said who emailed me, what's going to happen at the retail level? You're going to walk into your coin shop. They're going to have 10 coins laid out there, and each one of them is going to be at over $1,000 each. And you're going to be scrambling to buy it because there's a line out the door. And then the coin dealer is going to say, hey, I'm not going to sell either. Why would I sell? And then the price goes to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. That's what a free market. That's how it works. It doesn't work like this, where they don't have the silver and yet they're selling 1 billion ounces a day. So we're at the end. This is the end game. Congratulations. The silver cavalry, the silver knights are literally waiting for their opportunity. When's their opportunity? I think it's October 1st. Because at that point in time, all the charges will be announced. The SEC theoretically will be doing their job. The DOJ will have all the written contracts from the banksters, the criminal banksters saying, I won't do it again, I swear. That's when we got to keep an eye on BlackRock and the criminals around that. Less visual entities out of the banking system. But we're talking much, much higher prices. And hey, the silver cavalry, the silver knights that are coming in, it's on the spiritual level. Yeah, absolutely. It's also on the physical. It's also on the good guys level. It's also on the Warren Buffett level. Buffett's going to come in and buy every single ounce of silver. He probably already has a lot of these long contracts. And he's going to take delivery. And it's going to destroy the banking system, the entire world. Silver is the killer of the banks. And what's next? I don't truthfully know. Just like the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston created this book called The Road to Ruta, A Teacher's Guide, where there's 40 questions on what the hell do we do when the old system dies. They didn't know. How will we know? Their plan was to reallocate money according to Social Security balances. And then that money will be gold and gold bills that you can walk into a bank and say, here's my $20 in the new US dollar. I want my $20 worth of gold, because the U.S. has that much gold. In the Federal Reserve documents, Federal Reserve Bank of Boston shows a girl going up to a bank counter and laying down a big stack of bills and then 19 gold pieces for just one young girl. There's a hell of a lot of gold out there, my friend, and very little silver. I'm not saying gold's not going to go up in price. It is. It's going to double or triple or quadruple. Whereas silver's going to go up 100, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 times, 10,000 times until it reaches a fair market value. And a fair market value is where you're bidding against Apple Computer for silver ounces. And the banks are no longer there playing the derivative games. That's where we're headed. Anyway. And during that, there's going to be massive chaos. The deep state is trying to promote violence before, one, in 5 days, there's supposed to be a debate. Joe Biden was asked before he got on a plane yesterday, what do you think about the violence and 2 police officers getting shot? He said, I don't know. He didn't say anything. He said, I will be releasing a statement on that. Gets off the plane at the other end, and they ask him again, what do you think? He said, I think we already released a statement on that. He said, no-knock warrants are bad for humanity. This wasn't about a no-knock warrant. They knocked. They had a search warrant. They went inside. Her boyfriend shot at the police, and they fired a dozen rounds into the house and killed a woman who did not need to be killed. That's what happened. But the Democrats in the deep state, and even Republicans in the deep state, are using this as a tool to divide us, to create chaos and havoc before an election that probably won't even happen. It might happen, but I don't think Joe Biden will even be there. Joe can't even speak anymore, my friends. Like Cliff said, this is elder abuse. So, but hey, they want as much chaos as possible. Here it comes. They're going to watch for burning in the streets for the next, all the way up until the election. Yes. And then everybody gets coronavirus because of the mass protest and blah, 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 rinse and repeat. Don't let yourself be used by the idiots, by the deep state, by the criminal. And oh, by the way, all this time, they're going to be arresting the criminals to try to overthrow the government and releasing Comey documents. It's going to get ugly, my friends. The Democrats are not going to go into, they don't want an election. They want chaos. Because what happens from chaos? Authoritarian government, crackdowns, socialism. That's what they want. It's all part of their plan book. I saw them unloading all this riot stuff to the protesters, shields and masks and all that out of a U-Haul van. Everything's being given away. Here you go. Here's all your tools for the revolution and all. Have you guys seen the kids on the street paying out other people to cause havoc? Here's $100. Go do this. Where do you think that money comes from? George Soros and friends. Is he still alive? I don't know. Anyway. Woohoo! Second half of Year Zero is crazy and it's going to get worse, so hang on tight. Stay away from the big cities. Stay away from, don't go outside, don't march. Solidarity at home. Hold your fist like this. What does this mean? I have no idea, and they don't know. Solidarity for Americans. How about that? There's no need to fight each other. Let's go fight the deep state. Let's find an enemy, a real enemy. And that's the people who are creating this mass hysteria, the people who are abusing the black community for their own purposes. Most of these Black Lives Matter people out there are white. I go out to this place, Walnut Creek, in California, just other side of the mountains from Oakland, and there's a Black Lives Matter protest. And there's not one black person. Now, this will probably bring out black people, and it should. Yes, they have been abused. Yes, their rights have been trampled on, but not to the extent that the left is playing it up for the election. And they do it every 4 years, my friends. So let's wake up. And I agree. There's a lot of great lessons to be learned on both sides. On the conservative side and on the Democratic whatever side. Great lessons to be learned. But remember who's running the show, who's pulling the strings, and who's creating these violent demonstrations that all they do to tear apart the United States, which is real sad. But it's happening, and we get to live through it. Voila. If you want to live through it rich, go buy yourself some theta. The future after all this chaos is over is cryptocurrencies, is the internet, is colleges are done. No, that college experience will never come back. Sorry. It was all paid for by the government, by fiat money. And it's a bummer because I loved college. College was a hoot. Oh yeah, I studied too. I went to UCSB, Santa Barbara, on the beach. That's the only way I could get to college. It's like, I gotta enjoy it. And I did. But yeah, it was all, now college is all funded and paid for by student loans coming from the government who has no money. The largest debt in the United States is student loans. Which is, yeah, forgive student loans, forgive debt in general. Let the banks fail. There you go. All student loans are forgiven. All mortgages are forgiven. Does it get complicated and crazy? Yes. Will we get through it? Absolutely. We are moving our way away from the nanny state into what Cliff calls the make-a-way world. Make a way. Make a way means we're going to have to make our own way. Just pick up your bootstraps, up to the individual to survive this. So get yourself some theta. I teach you how to do it at Road to Ruta. Join the private road. I walk you through the steps, how to buy it, how to store it, how to stake it. And that's all you need to know. And even if you're crypto illiterate, you can do it. Go to roadtoruta.com, hit subscribe today. I also send you 50 theta loaded on a paper wallet, and 50 theta fuel. It's like cash. You stick it in your vault with your silver and you wait. Just like buying Bitcoin at 50 cents. You remember that? Bitcoin at 50 cents, you stick it in your vault, you wait. If you bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin back when it was 50 cents, you'd be happy. Now I'm saying 10 years from now, when you look back at theta, you go, oh my God, this crazy guy, Bix Weir, was giving away 50 theta. Can you believe that? He gave away 50 theta and 50 theta fuel just for joining for 1 year of his membership channel. $2.99 a year, which is less than about $1 a day. Less than $1 a day. And you get the Jenny Moonstone post tomorrow. I'm talking with Jenny at 10 o'clock today. Unbelievable discussion we're having today. But she also, you go to the private road section. The second one down is the Jenny Moonstone readings. And she does one on the future of theta. Jenny is not a fan of cryptocurrencies. She feels and understands that there's deep, dark people behind it. So most cryptocurrencies say, ooh, yuck, deep state. Theta was different. Go check that out. If you're a private road member, go to the private road section, which is right. Click on the member section, and that'll bring you here. And you go down, the first is the Root of Theta page, which will teach you how to buy theta. And second is the Jenny Moonstone readings. And there's going to be a new one posted tomorrow. And it's going to be cool. I mean, this is probably the coolest topic I've dealt with Jenny. So, and if you want to get a reading, contact Jenny. Go to jennymoonstone.com. Amazing readings. It's really cool. She's tapped into something I can't explain. But on the road to Ruta, it helps us a lot. And she's absolutely freedom, patriot, Trump-loving, Q-following warrior out there. Mama warrior. So go check it out. Anyway, it's Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. Hang in there, guys. We're getting through this. My advice, buy silver, physical silver. Andy Sheckman, Andy at milesfranklin.com. I spent half of my emergency cash already. I'll spend another half if it goes below 20 bucks. Here's the deal. All they've got is a couple days left. Tomorrow, we're probably going to have the JP Morgan announcement. The end of the month is when the Silver Knights are here. The Silver Knights are here. We're just waiting. Give them their final last licks, and then bam, slap them silly. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.